Welcome back to the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. So, Jay, we got the big news last week in regards to PBC and their first fight on Amazon Prime. Of course, the main event is Tim Tszyu versus Keith Thurman. We also know about the undercard, which is Rolly Romero versus Isaac Cruz. And so those are the two main fights on the card. But I wanted us to get together very quickly and talk about another fight that's on the card. And that is Sebastian Fundora versus Serhii Bohachuk. And it's interesting, and the reason why I wanted us to get together is because, unfortunately, I didn't get the opportunity to see it live, but last year we saw Sebastian Fundora in the ring with Brian Mendoza. And Sebastian Fundora, he was winning that entire fight. I think all of us would agree with that. But, of course, he got knocked out in brutal fashion. And so now he's getting the opportunity to become the WBC champion with Jermell Charlo now being named the champion in recess. And for me, Jay, that just seems very odd that he's getting the opportunity to actually fight for a championship belt after getting brutally knocked out. Like a little less than a year, has not done anything since, and now he's getting pushed back into an opportunity to fight for a title. Now, let me preface, I can't even necessarily say preface because I've already said my statement, but I do want to make this statement. A lot of people are going to come into the video, they're going to come into the comment section, they're going to say, it's the PBC. The PBC is doing all of this. It's the PBC. But in reality, it's the WBC that announced that he is or that they mandated this fight or announced this fight. So they're the ones who are initiating this particular fight, not the PBC. The other argument would be the PBC has the WBC in their pocket. I know that's going to be the next argument, but whatever. At the end of the day, the WBC is the one that actually mandated this. I don't quite understand it. There's been some very strange things in regards to the WBC, like the fact that they were going to sanction a fight between Keith Thurman and Errol Spence, and somehow that was going to satisfy Errol Spence's mandatory at 147, although the fight was going to take place at 154. So very weird stuff that goes on with the WBC. Jay, I know you got a little bit more detail. I know you were looking at the rankings earlier. So what are your thoughts in regards to Sebastian Fundora getting this opportunity? I mean, it's just every time I think about it and I try to process it, it's baffling to me. I don't understand it.
Yeah, it's that funny math. The math ain't mathing in this. I mean, like you said, he just got brutally knocked out last year. Yep. On April 8th. It'd be almost a year since he last fought and coming off a knockout where he got dropped. He was winning a fight, yes, got dropped, and he just seemed like he didn't want to fight anymore. The way he got dropped. He looked at the referee and he was done. So now he's getting rewarded for opportunity to get a vacant title. It just doesn't seem right, especially when they have someone that's ranked number one, Charles Conwell, who's ranked number one in the WBC, and he's not getting the title shot. I figured it'd be Conwell versus Boychuk, but I haven't seen Conwell fight since 2022. Now, last research I found on him, he was signed with Probellum, and I haven't seen anything else about him. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know what's going on with that, but it seems crazy that he would get the opportunity. It's still in the WBC. It doesn't make sense to me why Sebastian Fundora is ranked number 3, and Lubin has worked his way up. Virgil Ortiz just got to 154, but I'm not sure why Sebastian Fundora is still ranked at number 3 and getting this opportunity. It doesn't seem fair to other fighters. I know Lubin lost to Fundora 2 years ago, I believe it was, but Fundora coming off a loss again, opportunity to get a championship title just that fast. It's not mathing for me. And I don't know what's going on with Charles Conwell, who is undefeated, huge. People are real big on him. People see him as almost boxing's biggest well-kept secret, the way he's been fighting and everything since 2022. But this is not making sense to me. I know Mel has his own issues. If he's going to be a champion in recess, you just fully strip him and then let the 1 and 2 go at it, but don't reward someone that's just coming off a brutal loss. I don't understand that. I hate when sanctioned body, where it's a WBC, WBA, WO, IBF. I don't like it on any sanctioned body doing something like this, and it just doesn't seem right.
It doesn't, and I'm extremely happy to see Sebastian Fundora back in the ring, to be quite honest with you. I mean, I enjoy it. Yeah, absolutely. I enjoy Sebastian Fundora. I'm glad he's on the card. Again, I believe that, the card is a solid card. It's a solid card. And I think, PBC, and I know a lot of people are not going to be. They've been critical of it because it's a pay-per-view. Hell, I've even said that I don't think it's necessarily a pay-per-view. Now, Jake did share his rationale behind why it's probably not a pay-per-view initially. And if you want to see what Jake had to say, go and check out the live stream from Sunday 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We always go live, so check us out. But I want to shout out Tunnel Vision because Tunnel Vision made a statement on that same live stream that I thought was a fair statement and a fair assessment, which was, PBC, this is their first opportunity or their first big card or pay-per-view card that's going to be on Amazon Prime. And when you think about it, you want to work out the kinks associated with Amazon Prime. Now, Amazon, large company, got a lot of resources that they can lean on in regards to making sure that they get this right the first time. However, it is still the first time, and you don't want to go into a situation where you have a big fight and you're having, challenges with people ordering the fight and things of that nature. So they may opt to not go into a big fight initially with their first, foray into the apps world with Amazon Prime. They had it down packed with Showtime. This may operate a little bit differently. So that's a fair point, but Sebastian, I'm glad to see him on the card. It's just getting the opportunity for a title after getting knocked out like that, man. It just does not make any sense.
It doesn't sit well.
It
doesn't sit well. This is going to be I think it's going to be a good matchup. Just the way, just looking at their records and and the style of fighters they are. It's going to be a slugfest. Boychuk is sure. He has one loss. He has 23 wins, 23 knockouts, and 1 loss. But when you look at his resume, it's like, the things that stick out is like he got knocked out by Brandon Adams, who's a B-level fighter at best. Then he won.
I had just started watching that fight. I had just started watching the Brandon Adams fight. Yep, right before this.
Yeah, so he knocked out Nate Gallimore, he was always a prospect trying to become a contender. He just never panned out to be that. But they definitely sit in the pocket. They definitely gonna go to war, because we know Fundora, he doesn't use his reach, he doesn't use his height or anything. He likes to fight in the pocket. So I can see this be another fight going to war, and we'll see how he comes out. It's gonna be an interesting matchup, but I just don't like. To your point, I don't like necessarily rewarding someone for losing like this. To me, it's like I want to see Fundora back in the ring. I want to see how he bounces back, but automatically get a title shot. It just doesn't sit well with me.
No, I don't disagree with that, and we'll see what ends up happening. Again, I'm glad to see Sebastian Fundora back. This is not a video to knock him or anything of that nature, but it's just these are the things that become very odd and hard to explain. To a fan or somebody that's not a hardcore fan. It's like, did this if somebody just had the opportunity to see Sebastian Fundora get knocked out in his last fight and they're like, dang, how is he already getting the title shot again? It's weird. So you guys tell us what you think in the comments section in regards to Sebastian Fundora and his opportunity to win the WBC title against Boychuk. I like saying it, Boychuk. Tell us what you think. Don't forget to hate, like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Angry Man Podcast, M Sports Media, and we are out.